Alright, so this is actually my first gaming PC build. And in 2022, I bought all of the parts, which are really decent for the price, and I spent a total of $376.03. And I'm going to explain to you how I did that. Okay, so to start out, I thought I would run through all of the components. First off, this case is a Farah H1M case by Silverstone. For my motherboard, I'm running an MSI Pro B660M-A Wi-Fi, which runs 2 sticks of T-Force Delta 8GB DDR4, and in total that's 16 gigs. For my CPU, I've got a Intel Core i3-12100F, so without the integrated graphics. Graphics card, I've got a Zotac GeForce GTX 1080 Ti Mini, which still actually performs really well. I've also got a Crucial P3 500GB NVMe drive under the heatsink. And for the power supply, I've got an EVGA 600 watt. Now, for the first item that I bought, I'm gonna kind of try to start off going from some of the cheaper items. For my case, I picked out this Farah H1M Micro ATX PC case. And right now you can see it's going for $61.27. However, I picked mine up for slightly less. It was on sale for like $60 or so. And yeah, overall it has really good airflow and it looks pretty good too. The next component, my SSD, I bought this one. It's a Crucial P3 500 gigabytes SSD, and it uses PCIe 3.0, so it's a little bit faster than their outgoing one, the P2. And as you can see, it's $43.99. I actually picked up mine when it was going for $38.99, so I got a little bit of a discount there. As you can see, it's still on sale though, but it was slightly more discounted when I got it. I chose the Intel Core i3-12100F, and it's a really great processor because it's Intel's 12th gen. I know they just came out with the 13th gen, but everything is just way too expensive for me. It's only $106, and for the price, like, the performance is great. It really runs any game just fine. Alright, and that is where our Amazon shopping ends. I went over to eBay and I got this RAM set. It is used, but it's in really good condition. As you can see, it comes with the original packaging. So I picked out the Team Group T-Force Delta RGB DDR4 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's 3200 megahertz, and it performs really well. It's covered in these heat sinks, and it does not get hot at all, which is to be expected, of course. $48 including shipping is really not a bad price. This was an auction, and yeah, it's like on par with what other sticks of RAM would be going for brand new, except this has RGB, so I mean, why not? Now we get to the motherboard, and motherboards are where your build may or may not be a little bit more expensive than it should be. In this case, I found a really great deal on this MSI Pro B660M-A DDR4 with Wi-Fi motherboard, which I thought was great. And it supports the LGA 1700 socket, so i3 works great with it. Now, this one in particular, I took a little bit of a risk with because its for parts are not working, and it is brand new, but it was a return, it seems like. So, because it has, as you can see, bent pins. There are only 2 bent pins. So, I thought it was worth the risk. $70, free shipping. I took the risk. I bent the pins back. It took maybe 2 minutes, super easy, and I mean, it works great. Everything is completely functional. A little bit of a risk, but hey, if you can bend pins back, I would highly suggest doing this, especially if it's only like 2 pins and it's a brand new motherboard. As you can see, like, none of the bags had been opened or anything. So yeah, I'm still using it. It works great. It's an awesome motherboard compared to one that's a lot less capable than this one and costs $90 to $110. All right, and for my PSU, I also bought one used, which is a little bit risky. Usually, I would not recommend doing this, but like, it was a really good deal for a 600-watt power supply by EVGA, and it's modular, so I really couldn't pass it up. I ended up paying a little under $32, just one cent under, and including shipping. I mean, it it looks really good. I am using it now. It's not broken. It's working. All I had to do was dust it out because it was pretty dusty. But other than that, it came with the box. It came with all of the wires and stuff, so I can attach it to anything I needed. And yeah, it's still been working very nicely. And finally, the last and probably hardest to source component of this entire budget build is the GPU. Now, this, I mean, it could be viewed as cheating, but like I don't really it's not cheating. It's not cheating. Basically, what I did is I've had this 3D printer sitting around in my house for a little while. Now, it's from 2018. I had upgraded it multiple times. It printed fantastic for what it was. Worth $300 or so. And there was this really great deal going on Facebook Marketplace. This guy was selling a Zotac GeForce GTX 1080 Ti Mini, which basically just has a smaller cooler, same exact 1080 Ti as all the others, performs the same, just higher temps. He was selling it for 260. So I contacted him about doing a trade for the 3D printer, and he agreed to it. So we met up, we traded. It was super nice and easy, and all I did was I replaced the thermal paste on the GPU because it's from 2017, so it's a little bit dated. But overall, I mean, the card performs really, really well for what it is. It still outperforms things like the 3050, 3060, possibly even 3060 Ti, depending on the game. And it runs well. I don't know why people don't use the 1080 Ti more often, because it is like one of the greatest GPUs ever made. Uh, Runs all the games that I want it to perfectly fine, above 100, 200 FPS max settings. Uh, yeah, and that is my build. Uh, Great gaming machine. I would highly recommend building this if you take the time to research all of the parts, look for deals, maybe shop locally, get stuff off of Facebook Marketplace, buy things used if you can, and you will have a really, really solid gaming PC for the price. Again, that was under $400. Under 400 in 2022 for high-end components that can game.